however, encouraging to note that the East African region has continued to show signs of resilience and promise of growth. Economic growth remained relatively stable, averaging around 5.2%. The regional economy benefited from infrastructure investments, increased trade integration, and recovery in key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and digital financials. Continue to show signs of resilience and promise of growth. Economic growth remained relatively stable, averaging around 5.2%. The regional economy benefited from infrastructure investments, increased trade integration, and recovery in key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and digital financial services. However, inflationary pressures and currency fluctuation pose challenges, particularly in economies within the region that are heavily dependent on imports. Despite these dynamics, KCB remained steadfast in supporting businesses, individuals, and communities, leveraging our expansive footprint across the region. Secondly, our investment in the regional businesses continue to bear fruit. The subsidiaries recorded impressive performance, as will be disclosed shortly in the financial statistics that we'll be getting not too long. And I can tell you because of that, but I will not say for now where exactly. I feel a bit happy compared to last year, same time. As we continue to expand, our operational resilience remains a cornerstone of our growth and expansion strategies. It has allowed us to adapt swiftly to economic shifts, maintain service excellence, and manage risks effectively. This set of results demonstrate the mobilization of all the teams to shape a more collaborative and efficient operating model ready to take on the future. Indeed, this is why I felt we needed to appreciate our team, because they have been working as a team, not as individuals, and that is what has made us to see better results that we have seen, and which we believe will be able to continue to move in that direction. Thirdly, we are still going through the motions of securing the requisite approvals on the sale of National Bank of Kenya to Execs Bank. The motions of securing the requisite approvals on the sale of National Bank of Kenya to Execs Bank.
So our balance sheet closed at just under 2 trillion, 1.96 trillion. And, as had been set up earlier, that was about a 10% year-on-year decline. The key drivers for that decline was the strengthening of the reporting currency, which is the Kenya shilling. So in terms of translating Cosmas's regional businesses into reporting currency, translating Anastasia's foreign-denominated assets and liabilities as well into the reporting currency had a big impact. So on constant currency, if we just kept the currency constant, the balance sheet actually year-on-year did grow by 7%. When we were doing the results in Serena, our CEO had been recognized on the second last one. So that's why he was saying he's conflicted. Let's appreciate him. Thank you. So let's get into the performance for 2024. Year-on-year decline. The key drivers for that decline was the strengthening of the report, initiative, where we were 100% previously, and last year we took a decision to go down to 70%, which we thought is a reasonable representation for KCB. Lastly, on the balance sheet, I just want to point out that the way we have done the balance sheets in accordance to International Financial Reporting Standards number 5, we've had to take out National Bank of Kenya, NBK, out from the consolidation. So line by line, you will not find NBK, but you'll find it sitting under, one line, assets available for sale, and another line under liabilities, which shows us liabilities set up for sale because of where we are with the transaction. So that's largely just to conform with the accounting practices. And Kenya being a signatory of IFRS, we have got to conform with that. Just looking at how those assets have been distributed, 35% of them come out of other businesses outside of KCB Bank Kenya. So we continue to de-risk the concentration of KCB Bank and diversifying, our revenue streams and our risk across the group and in the regions that we operate. TMB is still the second largest subsidiary after KCB Kenya, contributing 14% of the total assets. Just sort of shaping that a bit more in terms of loans. 31% of the total loans that the group has are actually being contributed by subsidiaries, and this is noting that KCB Kenya also does syndicate a lot of big loans, big ticket size loans within its balance sheet in those markets. So, the ability to continue growing in our subsidiary markets is there. I'm sure when we get to the dividend conversation, some of you might ask why are the subsidiaries not, paying dividends to group. It's because we want to give them the legs to be able to write big ticket items and be able to continue diversifying and de-risking the Kenya concentration. Moving to my least popular slide on this deck, which is the NPL. So NPL ratio increased to 19.2%, as did the stock. The NPL stock also increased to 225 billion. The good news, if you can call it that, is that when you compare the growth between 2022 and 2023, and compare 2023 and the end of 2024, you can see that the growth in the latter part is a lot lower. So single-digit year-on-year growth on the stock, from 208 billion to 225, that's about 8%, whereas in 22-23, we had almost a 30% increase. I say it's a least popular slide for me because every time I stand here, I talk about the focus we have on NPL, what we are doing to get it down. And I can see my good friend Bernard Okello is here. So all of you who have questions on NPL, Bernard is that guy sitting with a striped shirt, with a striped tie. The main contributors of that stock are two, KCB Bank Kenya, about 11 billion growth in stock, and NBK that had about just under 6 billion growth in stock. And you can see also, in terms of the NPL ratio itself, those are the two main contributing entities on NPL. In terms of sector concentration, where the NPL is coming from, the main sectors that have been impacted is manufacturing, which in our books, the NPL in our book, 20% of that is coming out of manufacturing, 22 is coming out of real estate, about 13 is coming out of building and construction, and 14.6% is coming out of the largest part of our book. So about 35% of our book, our loan book, sits under what we call personal consumer household. The good news is it has a single-digit NPL, which in itself is quite high. If I go back 3-4 years, it used to be something like 2-3%. But this has been largely impacted by a lot of the scheme loans, university. You are all aware about the university funding issues some of the scheme loans we have with counties have contributed to that growth.